I know. All right. I bet Jeff can do it too. All right, so for you out there right now, while you're waiting for me to start, can you do this? All right, where am I? There I am. Okay, so yeah, and it's the pinky over the thumb, not this, because people can do that, but this with the pinky over the thumb. Apparently, it's an unusual thing to do. And hello there, Debbie Joy and David. Good morning. And you too win spiritual mind treatments. So just email me for what you would like a treatment, and I will do one for you sometime this week. And that's what that's about. And we're ready to start. And Margit, OMW. What does that mean?
Oh my God.
Oh, on my way. Hello. Okay, see you soon. All right, good. All right, thank you. I'm getting lots of support here. I'm very, very grateful. So let's do a spiritual mind treatment right now. This word is being spoken for each one. And if there is anyone you would like to have included, or any place on the planet you would like to have included, just think of their name or that place or situation right now, and realize because we are dealing with an infinite mind, which is omnipresent, that which is known here now is known everywhere. So, something is expressed as this entire universe. And this something is all that this universe is, but it's something more. It's that which propels this universe into expression. It is something that is causing everything in the universe to circulate in relationship with everything else and to circulate in harmony so that everything always, no matter how things are moving, and at any point in time or space of that movement, there is something that ensures that everything is in its right place for its highest and greatest next expression. Something. Call it God, call it life, call it a universal mind. It is a loving presence, something. And this something is intelligent. It knows harmony, balance. It knows peace. It knows newness. It has an urge to create. It has an urge to rotate and move and circulate itself amongst itself and to remain in harmony within itself. And with all this internal activity, it is something that is the all of it. Just as a human body is part of the all of the human abiding within it, this universe is that body within which this life, this something, abides. And so this something, call it spirit, this essence, this sense of beingness, this urge, this love, this is the life of each one. This is reality. This is what is unchanging. And this is the truth of each one. And so the truth of each one is, I am. And all of the changing activity and movement in the universe of each one is secondary. That I am, that something, that urge that is always present is cause to everything being manifested. And it is cause to everything in everyone's world changing and circulating and shifting and moving. And its cause always maintains everything in harmony with everything else. And so any belief that anyone has that any particular change is disruptive, that it is negative, that it is bad, that it is somehow a negative force or somehow creating something not good in one's life, It's all vanished in the light of what the life is that each one is living. It is this great and glorious, infinite, powerful, changeless, creating something. And it is the love, it is the heart, it is that purity of essence that is truth, that results in wisdom and clarity and guidance. It is something that is always creating something beyond what it has been. And this is what is present within each one. And no one can stop it. And no one can lose it. No matter where anyone is in their life expression, no matter what's been created, no matter what the whole lifetime of consciousness has demonstrated, the moment of the now and this recognition and connection with this one something, this urge to be expressed, behold, makes all things new. It is infinite potential within each one. There is always a way for something new to emerge. And the full power and backing of the universe, of this something, is behind the new being created. The full backing and support of the universe is never to support the existence of the old. It cannot support a form, a fact, as unchanging. It cannot, because everything is moving, and so everything in each one's world and life and beingness, consciousness must move. And so the full backing and support of the universe is for the new, what next, what next? And so all old thinking, all old tapes or records, all keeping track of the past, all need to be consistent with the past, all fear of something new is all by this word erased, vanished, and gone, because the old cannot exist in this universe. Hooray. Only newness is. And so each one gets with the divine program and enjoys the unfolding newness in his or her life. And that newness always is in that divine contemplation, that which is harmonious, that which is love inspired, that which is fresh, free, happy, that which is an expression of the joy and the delight of knowing oneself to be the source and the cause of its own creation. This is the life of each one. And at that point of knowingness right now, this connection with this infinite, eternal, changeless something, infinite possibilities yet to be always are present. Always. There is no loss of opportunity. There is no missed opportunity. There is no too late for opportunity. There is this here now, fresh, new expression of life is the life of each one. And wherever he or she is, the light, the ability to perceive that which could be, that which can be, that which does not need probability to be. Something unseen, unheard of, off the charts, off predictions, that something out of the all good is present right now as a possibility, as a choice for each one. And so each one is now enthused with the spirit of living, which is the spirit of expressing this life, of seeing one's own form, personality, and even character transformed into something more that is the more of an expression of the essence of the I am that each one is, and yet far beyond anything that anyone thought that he or she had been, because all beliefs of oneself, all self-concept of oneself, all habits, images, horoscopes, all those self-concepts contain within it the false beliefs in lack, loss, and limitation. And each one has nothing, the truth of each one has nothing to do with any of it. Each one is a former. Each one lives from this eternal presence and allows a form of that infinite presence to become manifest in his or her world. And so each one is involved now in forming that expression of oneself. Each one is happy to have that expression of oneself change easily, effortlessly, harmoniously, and according to the divine pattern of change, unfolds with perfect right order and divine right action. There is no uproar, there is no upset, there is no need for a big kaboom in one's world. All the attachment to drama and trauma and all the need to have like a miraculous woohoo moment, it's all erased and evaporated. This life is real. It is not magical, it's not abnormal, and it's ordinary goodness. Pure, wholesome, loving goodness. It is ordinary. It is normal. And the standard of this normal is God's standard, the divine standard. And each one now raises his or her thinking to connect to that infinite standard of goodness. That which is expressing again and again and again, and always creating something new, more wonderful, more intelligent, more harmonious, more happy, more wealthy, more joyous, more free, more healthy, more loving, more delightful. And that is the way it is. And so each one, in connecting with this spiritual truth, is now able to experience the outer changing, shifting environment in which he or she dwells with complete equanimity, complete peace of mind and circumstance. And so each one knows within each one's spiritual truth, that's consciousness within, each one knows what shall be, because each one is choosing and therefore causing that which shall be, and knowing that what shall be done in ways and means of peace and harmony and that perfect operation of life itself. So this is the truth of each one, accepted now, and so it's the way life is. So it really didn't even need to be said. But it is said. And having said, it's an agreement. And so each one is an agreement with this, that which it is, by saying together, and so it is. There we go. All right, moving forward. Reverend Rich.
I have opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready.
And so we are opening ourselves to the new, to the better, to the happier. We are opening ourselves to being healthier and wealthier than ever before. We are opening ourselves to enjoying our life even more than we've already enjoyed it. We're actually opening ourselves up to a greater, freer expression of who we truly are. And so connecting with our heart, that is that inner guidance system, letting us know the greater good that shall be. And so we open and feel it and accept it and then allow it. And so it shall be. All systems are go, and so it is.
I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Fear not, for I am with you. Remember that from the Bible.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton. My name is Regina Quince, and I am one of the practitioners here at this center. Thank you, Rev Karen, for your powerful treatment this morning. I know, getting us centered and acclimated and adjusted and embracing change. And we fear not, for the divine is with us, in us, as us, of us. Thank you, Reverend Rich, for your music. And we are a loving, healing, and inclusive community which teaches and practices the principles of science of mind for the well-being and spiritual growth of ourselves and the world. We have a lot going on here. So I want to first call up John Harron to talk to us about next week's Peace Workshop.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So about a month ago, we did a wonderful workshop here using the World Peace Meditation of John Randolph Price as a model for how do we take this teaching and use it in our lives, not just for ourselves, but for the consciousness of peace in the world. And as we know, we believe change your thoughts, change your life, and that's also the life of the world. And so it will be a wonderful little workshop. We'll be building on what we did last time, although we'll be starting new if you weren't at the last one. Please come and join us at the usual time here on River Road in Princeton, and we look forward to seeing you there. There will be journaling, there will be discussion, and so I look forward to it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, John. And last workshop was wonderful. It was wonderful. And we need some peace, right? We need some peace.
It happened already.
We have some peace. Okay. December the 17th, the following Sunday, we have our wonderful Tree Love Circulation Workshop. So we're going to have 2 workshops in a row. Next Sunday with John and Peace, and the following Sunday, which I think Susan is leading. And it involves a wonderful, fun grab bag to participate. Not mandatory, but we invite you to bring something to donate to Rise. So let me tell you a little bit about Rise. Rise is a center of social support in central New Jersey, focusing on Heightstown and East Windsor. They help families and individuals overcome obstacles and achieve their full potential by providing them with services and facilitating community partnerships. The Rise thrift store accepts new or gently used clothing for men, women, children. shoes, handbags, and other accessories. Now, they also accept household items and books and things like that, but what we're looking for you to participate with us in is gently used clothing. So, gently used coats and sweaters. Think about the change in temperature. Bring them with you. You don't need to discard them or keep them in your closet like I do, and they just are there. Bring them, and so that we can then give them to Rise, the thrift store. So that's Rise, right downtown Heightstown. Also, on December the 31st, we're going to have the John Randolph Price's World Healing Meditation that we do that starts at 7 a.m., but we will have a Zoom call opening at 6:45 a.m. And we'll put the link on Facebook, and someone even mentioned maybe our webpage. We might have the link there too. So December, we're full. we are full of wonderful, wonderful things. And the final announcement is rain date. I don't mean that. Hold the date. January 14th, we're going to celebrate our beloved spiritual leader, Rev Karen. And so stay tuned for that. That information will be on Facebook. All right. So, as you know, I've been reading spiritual economics. I know some of you said you should be finished this book, right? But no, I absolutely just read a page, and I just allow myself to absorb and absorb the information and think about how I'm going to apply it. I'm only going to talk about the back half of this chapter. The chapter is on work and the success syndrome. And since I'm retired, I was like, I don't need to read this. Well, you will learn when you retire, you don't retire. But you don't, because one of the things he says, begin to think of your work as a calling. Well, there's a lot of things that we do that we're not actually paid for or under someone's management. Maybe we're always under someone's management, our own management, but we feel called to participate in, to be a part of. And so he says, begin to think of your work as a calling. The creative process is calling. So the work becomes easy and fulfilling, and you become prosperous and successful in it. There is no pressure for, in quotes, the affluence of heaven and earth streams into you. Then he goes into this whole section on the success syndrome, which he calls the relentless drive for success. Now, some of you may be familiar with this terminology. It's not viewed here as a positive. So let me read some of this. And it's our consciousness. Progression is not measured alone by the title on the office door. When viewed through the success syndrome, people should be dissatisfied with their work. Many people are influenced by this pressure and thus are unable to put their full effort into their work, feeling that they should be climbing, prospering, succeeding. Instead of earning their wings every day, they yearn for bigger airplanes. Think about that. Yeah. So, it is a drive that is basic to humankind, but unfortunately, instead of seeing it as a cosmic urge to be more, be is the key word, to be more, it is normally interpreted as a desire to have more. Under the success syndrome, we are conditioned to feel that we must always be getting ahead. Thus, there may be an inner feeling of frustration. Now, I wrote something here. Success, well, I wrote it as I was reading. It's from the book. Success is not getting there. It is earning the right in consciousness to be there. And so it triggered a question in my mind. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that? Earning the right in consciousness to be there. So I wrote myself a little note. Dear Regina, do not question yourself. Know you are on a journey towards an even greater consciousness, lovingness, and achievement. Go with the flow, loving yourself and letting yourself find its way through love. Love, Regina. So I wrote that to myself, and that's how I read. I read and I, and I try to apply what they're saying to me. What's the message? Because there's no book that I pick up that I'm not guided to read. So I'm going to read this last part. So take a deep breath. Let it out. And here's the last section from his book, this chapter in his book. Remember, consciousness is the key. Make a new commitment to think of your work not as a place to make a living, but as an opportunity to make a life. Think of yourself as a channel through which creative activities flow, and there is no limit. Your mind is one with the same mind that is in the genius, the successful, and the affluent. Wonderful ideas and balanced energies flow forth easily through you, making you indispensable and appreciated in your work. You are free from tension or stress, for you know that you are an inlet and may become an outlet to all there is in God. You are not alone. The whole universe is on your side, guiding your hands and directing your footsteps in the way you go. A helpful affirmation is, I am God's living enterprise, and God cannot fail. There can be no failure in God. Any appearance of failure is in consciousness, a frustration of the creative potential. No matter what your job or your chosen career, your true business is the express business, the business of releasing your imprisoned splendor. Infinite Mind will always regulate your affairs so that you have an adequate job in which to sing your song or express your potential. If the job becomes inadequate, if you keep yourself in tune with the creative flow, either the job will change or you will be moved to another job. Nothing can impede the flow of affluence and success to one who keeps oneself in tune. Remember, I am God's living enterprise, and God cannot fail. Thank you. So I want to see you next week here at the Masonic 10:30. We are looking for your presence. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
See you next week. Peace is the answer, love is the way. I know I can get there if I just give 2 days. Let Spirit guide me and take me by the hand and walk me to the waters of the promised land. Kindness is the answer, compassion the way. I know I can get there if I just give 2 days. Let Spirit guide me and take me by the hand, walk me to the waters of the promised land. Joy is the answer, laughter the way. I know I can get there if I just ask today. Oh, let Spirit guide me and take me by the hand and walk me to the water of the promised land. Peace is the answer, love is the way, kindness is the answer, compassion the way. Joy is the answer, love is the way. I know I can get there if I just give 2 days.
Thank you, Reverend Rich. Good morning. My name is Mary VerCande, and I'm a practitioner here at the center. So this morning we're going to do a meditation, and then I will complete with a spiritual mind treatment. But I want to read a little bit, just some words for contemplation during our meditation from The Science of Mind by Dr. Ernest Holmes. It's on page 167 if anybody wants to look it up. The one seeking to demonstrate the power of spiritual realization in everyday affairs should believe in divine guidance. They should affirm that their mind is continually impressed with the images of right action and that everything in their life is controlled by love, harmony, and peace. That everything they do prospers and that the eternal energy back of all things animates everything which they undertake. Our good is here for us, all right? So, let me read it again, just this part. They should affirm their mind is continually impressed with images of right action and that everything in their life is controlled by love, harmony, and peace. So I invite you to get comfortable in your chairs. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Take a few belly breaths. Don't breathe into your chest. Breathe into your belly and feel it expand and draw the air all the way down into the bottom of your lungs. And then release it. And open yourself up to good. Good and more good is mine. And ever increasing good is mine. There is no limit to the good which is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. It crowds itself against me. Flows through me. Expresses in me. Multiplies itself around me. Only good may flow out from me. Only good may return to me. Everywhere I go, everywhere, all those around me experience this good. Just open your hearts. Allow all the good to flow through you. Know that you don't have to hold it. It is limitless. Allow goodness and love and harmony to fill you up. Take a couple of cleansing breaths. And when you're ready, return to the room. And this word is spoken for each one. There is no gap between the Creator and the created. All that the Creator is present in the created. The Creator is love, life, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. And each one is a creation of the divine. And so in each one is love, life, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. And since there is no gap between the Creator and the created, the created is also a creator. So each one creates the expression and the experiences of their life. Each one here is expressing the divine in a unique and individual way. We choose consciously to provide forms for the good to flow into. Just as you would provide a form if you're going to build a sidewalk or a patio and the cement truck was coming, each one provides a form to fill. But knowing that the form isn't all there is. This good overflows and builds up and continues to flow into their life in greater ways, in unimaginable ways. There is no limit to the goodness which each one expresses and each one experiences. Each one is filled with love, harmony, and beauty. And each one experiences this day and every day as a creation of the divine, knowing the truth of who they are. I am grateful for this truth, and I release this word to the law, knowing it is so, and so it is.
So it is.
We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. And the bonnie boat was wonderfully sailed into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. When that foghorn blows, I'll be coming home. When that foghorn blows, I wanna hear it, don't have to fear it, and I wanna rock your gypsy soul. Just like way back in the days of old. Magnificent we will float into the mystic. I'll be coming home. The foghorn blows, I wanna hear it, don't have to fear it, and I just wanna rock your gypsy soul. Just like way back in the days of old. And together we will float into the mystic.
Bravo.
And the one and only Reverend Karen Kushner.
Oh, the one and only, yes, the one and only. Thank you very much, the one and only Reverend Rich Volk. All right, so David, good morning to you, David Stewart and Craig. We got someone from Thailand and Michael. Good to see you all. All right, so I'm going to conclude our completion series on where we're using forgiveness as our primary spiritual practice and using these essays written by Reverend Lloyd Strom. The one I'm working with today was written in 2014, and these are all essays that I had in my files buried. And as I'm sorting through and going through stuff, they're getting unearthed, and I'm like, whoa, this is really good stuff. So I want to share this with you so that it's out there. It's recorded, it's out there. It's information that I think it's important for the world to have. And I know that these essays at the moment are not readily available. But I'm sure that they will be in the future. They're redoing their website, blah, 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 you know, that stuff. So the title of this essay is The End of Evil. And if you've been present for the past couple of weeks when I've spoken about It's All You, you know where this is going. We all want peace. And I have maintained, once I came into this teaching, that if just one person completely and totally established peace in their entire consciousness, we'd have world peace. Obviously, I'm not the one. Because do you see world peace? No. And so, to have a consciousness, we aspire, right, to have a consciousness where all of our own thoughts are in agreement. And you know in your own head when you have opposing thoughts. I experience it as confusion. You know, I'm like thinking this, but what about that? Whatever. But Lloyd brings us a little bit deeper with this concept of evil. He says, most people are abhorred at the thought of being considered an evil-minded person. Right? Are you an evil-minded person? Of course not. Yet, whenever we experience thoughts of criticism, complaint, or condemnation, we are being evil-minded. So, criticism, whether to yourself or to someone else, complaint, I got to raise my hand on that one, condemnation, we are being evil-minded. So it's a mind that has a thought of badness. That badness exists is our belief, and we're pointing it out, or we're noticing it in our worlds. And so, our inner experience of having thoughts of, I'll focus on criticism and complaint, since those are ones that I think human beings think aren't not that bad, right? I can complain about this, I can criticize this, I'm just criticizing myself. That's okay. But what we want to realize is, or become aware of, notice within yourself that when you're in a criticizing or complaining state of mind, you don't feel good. That's the clue that it doesn't belong in us. What makes us feel good? Thoughts, right, of the good, the beautiful, the pure, the happy. We always feel better when we think well of ourselves. We are at peace when we believe that peace is everywhere present. And the ultimate belief is a worldview, which I aspire to, which is the world is a friendly place. I've been watching little segments of Elf this past week. What a great movie. But the character, Elf, right, he can only see the world as, Christmas, Santa Claus, everyone's good, everyone's friendly. And when he meets a short-statured person, he's like, oh, he's an elf. And the guy gets very angry. He says, don't say that word again. And he goes, okay, elf. And the guy attacks him and beats him up. He's like, oh, he's an angry elf. But that generosity of spirit, that Pollyanna approach to life, that this world is a friendly place and I can enjoy it. Well, Elf developed that by living in Santa Land, in his formative years. And Lloyd talks about, and we mentioned it last week, about dwelling in the consciousness of the kingdom of heaven. And so that kingdom of heaven is the consciousness that believes in the all good is present. Now he points out, let's get clear about the all good. God is the good to which there is no opposite. So as human beings, we've taken the all good and brought it down into our world saying good and evil, so that we can't even contemplate the all good. We're always, when I say all good, your minds might be thinking, oh, but what about that? That's bad. Realize you're not in the all good when that thought comes to mind. You're in duality, right? You're in relationship, good or bad, black or white, yes or no. That's fine, that exists, the relative world. But we're talking about the absolute, the mystical world. The all good, the peace, the beauty, the joy, the love, to which there is no opposite. That's the kingdom of heaven. And so those are the thoughts that we want to become predominant in our thinking. He says, the good that is not opposed by evil of any kind. So it's the name for God, the all good. And Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind, I've read that book cover to cover. In all the chapters, he never calls God the all good. But in those little self-prayer meditations in the back, there's like a dozen times he names the all good. He refers, he claims the all good. The all good. Emma Curtis Hopkins, we'll bring her up in a little bit. So let's get back to our evil-mindedness. So, because like attracts like. Go ahead and extrapolate. There you go. So furthermore, evil-minded. The reason we have such thoughts, like complaint or criticism, is because we believe in evil. It's a false belief, true, but something in our human race consciousness believes in evil. And so we see it in the world. If the human race didn't believe in it, we would not be seeing it. The only reason why bad things are done is because the human race believes in evil. But just because the human race believes in it doesn't mean we have to go along with it, although, it requires some work. And so he says, regardless of how upstanding and self-righteous we might consider ourselves to be, if we are harboring evil thoughts, we are evil indeed. This is a devastating realization, which fortunately is not the truth about ourselves, capital T. It's not that the truth about us is that we are the all good expressing. And in the divine, evil does not exist as a concept. And in our immortal, infinite souls, in our divine selves, it does not exist. But we're not identifying with that true self. We're believing in lies, and it hurts to believe in lies, and we do hurt and harm when we believe in lies. And so, this evil is not the truth about ourselves, but it is what we have imagined it would be like if we were not like the divine. So, when we don't connect or identify with that divine self, we're immediately separated. We're immediately in the world of relative expression and beliefs. We're immediately in the world of good and evil. Only in identifying ourselves with the divine self are we being the all good. Tricky. Being the all good and walking in this relative world. Right? So, he says, more importantly, we cannot overcome our evil-minded ways by clinging to thoughts of what we consider to be good. So the human race, in believing in good and evil, have really strong opinions as to what are good thoughts. But that is because those thoughts are considered good because there's a belief in evil. That's how we get stuck in this. I know this is wicked stuff. Wicked stuff.
Or what goes up must come down. Right?
Yeah, we believe that.
Yeah.
So, this will only make us appear self-righteous. So when we cling to the ideas of what is good and assert them in the world and blame and condemn and criticize ourselves and everywhere else where we don't see those strong ideas of good, oh, I do that to myself all the time, right? I should be more organized. If only I were more organized, I would be good. That's the unconscious thing in me. When, let's face it, honey, you're not. Get over it. Because why? Because you got all this new stuff always floating in and it just doesn't settle. All right, but so anyway, we don't want to appear self-righteous and keep our evil-minded nature hidden from those who live around us, right? How many of us would be comfortable if everyone could always read our mind? There's the clue, right? Just saying. So we may be keeping our evil thoughts from everyone else, right? By appearing self-righteous, by appearing good. And it will also keep us obedient to the tyranny of our own inner demons that we have suppressed. So in other words, the human race, and we're born into it, and we're trained into it, and we're surrounded by it. We believe in evil. We know it's bad to be evil. We want to be good because that way we're accepted, that way we are loved. So better not let anyone into my house. I have an inspection coming up in January. I've been going nuts going, well, he's not going to be able to go into my back room. They're going to have to show me a search warrant to be able to go into my back room because my back room is, and I don't want anyone to see that. And yeah, that's where I'm at. But see, it's a belief in evil. Like the back room is the way it looks right now is bad, which means I'm bad, which means I don't belong in the humanity of life, right? So it keeps us in tyranny. It puts us in rages and anger. Like when I found out they were going to inspect, I went crazy. And then I noticed my neighbors, we all have a community Facebook page, and we're all posting. Rah, 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 rah. One of my neighbors said, they'll have to have a search warrant in order to come in. And I'm like, let me watch that. So, so here's where we bring in Emma Curtis Hopkins. She described this self-righteous behavior, or the behavior of having strong opinions as to what is good. So that's what, just think about it. You wouldn't think that's a bad thing. But having a strong opinion as to what you believe is good, she calls the foolishness of the saints. She called it this because it is foolish to believe that preaching good over evil will ever set us free from the effects of evil in our lives. And the more that we fight against evil, the stronger it gets, and trying to suppress our evil thoughts only causes the evil that we so strongly believe in to come upon us in the form of tribulations and afflictions. This is tricky. So I have to give Dr. Tom Johnson some credit for my story that I'm going to share here. Years ago, he shared a story of how he was at a restaurant with people, and from his car, 2 briefcases were removed. And when he got back to his car, he saw that things were stolen, and he was driving home, and he realized that he could not move forward with the evil thoughts he was having about the person who took the briefcases.
Wow.
And the whole drive home, he set the intention of sending love, or I love that person, I love that person, I love that person, I love that person. The whole time. And when he got home, another restaurant called him and said, outside their door, they found 2 briefcases. And they were his. And everything was in them, except for $50 that he had in there. And even that $50, he said, I love that person, I love that person, I love that person. And the next client that he had to see him as a practitioner said, I don't know why it is, but I feel compelled to give you an extra $50. So he told this story, and this really lived with me, really impressed me. And so twice I have had, years ago, not that many years ago, but I was a minister here, and I had an old car, which apparently the congregation believed I should release. And so, unbeknownst to me, they were treating that I have a wonderful new car, and I'm like, never do that again, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I was woken in the middle of the night by a phone call, and it was the police, and they asked me to come out, step outside. And I'm like, sure. I put my robe on, and I guess it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I stepped outside, and the policeman was there, and my neighbor was there. And I looked out, and I went, oh, my car's gone. And they're like, yeah, that's why we're bringing you out. And I'm like, oh, okay, what can I do for you? And they were, but in my thought, I swear, in my thought, when I saw my car is gone, the next thought was, woo, I get a new car. That was my first thought. Okay, great. So, do you have your registration? And I'm like, yeah, it's in the house. And they were surprised, because I guess most people leave their registration in their car, which I'll never understand. But I got the registration, and they reported it. And, my neighbor explained how he happened to discover it, blah, 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 blah. And I went upstairs back to bed, and I thought, Tom Johnson. And I began praising and raising whoever had the car. And I love you, I praise you, I raise you in the name of love. I just kept doing that over and over. I fell right back asleep, was not disturbed by this at all, woke up in the morning. Okay, now what do I do? I've got to get a rental car. There were all these little steps to take, and in the next month, I took all those little steps, got my new car, and all was smooth and effortless. But I kept doing that praising and raising of that person until I forgot about them. To make sure, what Tom Johnson said was he didn't want that icky feeling in him that someone took something from him. And so I got to that, I think that night, just really clear, where I praise and raise you, greater good of all, blah, blah, blah. Nothing is taken from my consciousness without my permission. And I am love, I am this, blah, blah, the whole thing. So about 2 weeks later, they called me, the police, and they said that they had found my car. And one of the people in our congregation drove me there, because it was apparently in a scary part of the state, where I guess I should not go alone. I was grateful for it. But I found my car, and it had been stripped.
Wow.
So no doors, no tires.
Wow.
But everything that was mine inside was still there. My mom's Afghan, she had passed, and my CD player was there, my binoculars were there. I mean, all valuable stuff. Not only was it all there, but it was not even harmed by the wind and the rain, with having no doors. So everything that that was mine and that I wanted was all returned to me. And I got a new car, which we all knew I had to get eventually, in grace and ease and peace. And here's the thing. Do you ever have that fear that, ooh, somebody might take something? So you lock your door, or you double check, or you... What I've learned is, how dare I think evil thoughts of someone, believing that they might steal? Or maybe I see someone looking a little threatening to me. How dare I attribute evil intention to them? See, that thinking that they might hurt me, that they might harm me, is in me. We don't know what's going on with them, but that thought is in me. And so I have to take care of me and clean me out so that I am living in a state of being divinely guided. And yes, I might be guided to step away from certain people, or not to go down a particular lane, or not to, leave all my, money out in the middle of the parking lot. I might be guided not to do that. But see, what they say is that these suppressed beliefs in evil are actually running us because we're believing in evil. That's what we want to be free of. So that forgiveness work that we've been doing is forgiving ourselves. It's a way of purifying our consciousnesses of these beliefs in hurt and harm and evil. And it's a process, because it's so deep in the human race to believe this, right? I'll notice the thoughts just pop into my head. Ugh, look at that one, and I'm like, wait a minute. Now let me make a conscious choice about it. So it's something that we have to work, or I have to work on continuously to clear my thought so that I can walk here in earth in the kingdom of heaven. Being divinely guided, yes. And those strong opinions in what is good makes us overrule our divine guidance. And that's what we see. So, because I believe it's a good thing for me to have as a friend someone who is belittling because blah, 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 or a relative, because I believe that is a good thing, we want to realize that that belief is this foolishness of the saints, and that maybe we're being guided to not be with them. But because we believe in evil, we've got this strong opinion that it's good to be with them. Have you ever been invited to something or asked to do something and everything in you wants to say no, right? We're like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it.
Yes.
But I oughta. I should. It's the right thing to do. It's the good thing to do. So what we want to realize when we've got those thoughts that it's the right thing to do, it's the good thing to do, that's the tyranny, right, of those deeply suppressed beliefs in evil. I should do it is based upon a belief in evil. And we want to just be free so that we can listen to our divine guidance. Is this for me to do? It's not bad that everything in your gut says, no, I don't want to do it. But we believe it's bad, right? Years ago, I had a blind date with someone, God bless his heart. And when I looked at him, when I first met him, there was something about his face that made me go, ew. And I, good person, I'm like, oh, Karen, let's not, be based upon appearances, let's give him a chance and, come on, that's, right? That's bad. That's bad. So I did go with him wherever we went. I think, oh yeah, okay. So the date was, he took me to a codependent anonymous meeting. That was the date. Ah. Okay, anyway, on the way back, he said, I was so excited about seeing you that my dog was really acting up and all really excited, and so I whacked it.
Oh, no.
Killed him?
No, whacked. Well, he smacked the dog or something. He hit the dog. That's the word, right? He hit the dog. And I'm like, Karen, you were guided. This person is not for you. But the way I was guided was a look at his face and ew. I thought I was being judgmental because I didn't like the look of his face. But it was that divine guidance in me saying, this is not a match for you. But you see, that need to be good, I overruled what was divine guidance because I thought it was about what his features looked like. And that was my understanding of it. But see, it was divine guidance that was saying, this one is not for you. You're not a match. You can't be with somebody who's going to hit a dog. I mean, what the heck? So we want to rise up to become aware of our foolishness. Even Ralph Waldo Emerson, right? He talked about the people who have to be good, and that we need to examine whether it is goodness for you that they are espousing, to examine it, to see if it really is goodness. And so the end of evil occurs when we stop being run by a belief in it. And so we have to bring it up into our awareness, right, with love and self-forgiveness, and deal with it and face it, and then ask ourselves, is this a good thing for me to believe about so-and-so who done me wrong, who did this X, Y, and Z? Is this a good thing to be believing in me? Does it feel good in me? Because we are the beneficiaries of giving up this belief in evil. Not the world, although the world would be a better place with fewer evil-minded people. Likewise, peace. You could put peace in there, right? How can there be peace when you think someone else is causing trouble? The lack of peace is in our own thinking. And what are we talking about? The peace that transcends, that's above, beyond what is appearing. So it's tricky. He says, we must develop the capacity to fully accept and then bless with love anything and everything that arises in our experience of life. We want to move into, again, same advice as last week, living and dwelling in the kingdom of heaven, which is all love. And we begin with loving ourselves and setting ourselves free. And in conclusion, I have a little quote here from Albert Camus. He said, "In the midst of hate, I found there was within me an invincible love. In the midst of tears, I found there was within me an invincible smile. In the midst of chaos, I found there was within me an invincible calm. I realized through it all that in the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer." And that makes me happy. For it says that no matter how hard the world pushes against me, within me there's something stronger, something better, pushing right back. We want to connect with that. So with that thought, Reverend Rich, take us away.
the shortest day now. Winter has come, nature is sleeping, the working is done, the fire is warm now, the snow lies deep, this time is for renewal, so put your cares to sleep, don't be afraid. Got the sun won't shine. The grace of the Spirit keeps our days divine. For with the guidance of the universe, night turns into day, and our fears about tomorrow God takes away. Feast and affirmation of warmer days to come, with singing celebration that God and we are one. Solstice time for planting the light of Spirit's deeds, with vision for the future. It's how we plant the seeds. Don't be afraid, no, the sun won't shine. The grace of the Spirit keeps our days divine. For with the guidance of the universe, night turns into day, and our fears about tomorrow God takes away. For with the guidance of the universe, night turns into day, and our fears about tomorrow God takes away.
Yeah. Bravo!
Thank you, Reverend Rich.
Yeah.
Okay, it's now time to practice the law of circulation. And so I invite everyone here to add your blessings to the plate. And everyone out there, if you would like to give, you can go to our website, cslprinceton.org, and on our homepage you will find a donate button, and you can give that way. So read this. I make a commitment to keep wealth circulating in my life by giving and receiving life's most precious gifts. The gifts of caring, affection, appreciation, and love. Each time I meet someone, I will silently wish them happiness, joy, and laughter. We do not give because God needs the gift, but because the giving increases, broadens, and deepens the life of the giver. Nor shall we give from the standpoint of duty. The universe refuses to bargain with us. It already has given us everything it has, but it also has provided that the gift of life can be received in its fullness only as it flows through us to the fullness of others.
All right.
So this word is being spoken for each one. There is only the all good. And the truth is, each one is the all good expressing in a unique, particular, positive, happy, healthy, wonderful way. Each one is pure, wholesome, loving goodness through and through. This is the truth of each one. And all belief to the contrary, all self-judgment that one is bad, evil, or no good, or fear of it, is all erased, evaporated, and vanished. And likewise, all belief that this universe is bad in any way is erased, evaporated. And so to that which is in between, humanity. All belief that humanity is in any way bad or evil is erased and evaporated. Each one is washed clean of all the false beliefs and accepting the all good. Each one is moving forward in a happy, friendly universe, divinely guided to be with those whose highest and greatest good it is to be with, and to let everyone else go along their own merry way. Each one has spiritual discernment, the discernment of the vision of the all good, here, now, as guidance. I am grateful that this is the truth. Release this word to the law. It is done. Finito. And so it is. And that's the way it is. All right, take us away, Reverend Rich. Maybe, maybe not.
We'll make it up.
Amen.
Bravo!
Amen. There we go. All right, so you're invited to come here in person next week, and have a wonderful December. See you soon. Bye.